Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in the life of certain men and women, a moment, a subtle yet undeniable call to step away from the crowds, to turn inward and discover the silent corridors of their own being. These individuals, set apart not by choice but by design, are often referred to as the chosen ones. But what is this path they walk, and why must it be walked alone? There comes a moment in the life of those who feel the pull of something greater, a gentle, unmistakable call that draws them away from the familiar world of crowds and into the quiet realms within. It is a call that only they can hear, yet it is not an invitation to isolation for isolation's sake. It is something deeper, a beckoning to a journey that requires stepping away from the noise, the distractions, and the constant hum of society. This journey is one of solitude, but it is not a journey of loneliness. Rather, it is a purposeful withdrawal, a sacred retreat into the depths of one's own mind and heart, where the secrets of life wait to be uncovered. For these chosen ones, solitude is a necessary path. It is in this quiet, this inner sanctum, that they begin to see the truth of their own existence, their own creative power. The outer world, with all its demands and judgments, begins to fall away, and in its place is a space of silence where the mind can rest, where the heart can listen, and where the spirit can grow. In the stillness of this solitude, they come to understand things that cannot be learned in any other way. They find that in order to truly create, to truly live from the essence of their being, they must first detach themselves from the expectations and limitations imposed by others. Solitude, then, is not a punishment, it is a process of refinement, a preparation. In the solitude of the chosen, there emerges a certain clarity, a clear vision that begins to take shape in the quiet, untouched by the opinions of the world. They begin to understand that true power lies not in what others think or say, but in what they themselves believe and imagine. The solitude becomes a training ground for the mind, a place where doubt fades and they come face to face with the source of all creation, their own thoughts, their own assumptions, and their own vision. In this space, they are free to imagine without restriction, to feel without judgment, to envision a reality that is theirs alone to claim. And as they dwell in this sacred solitude, they begin to find a strength they did not know they possessed, a strength that comes not from the approval of others, but from a deep-rooted knowledge of their own power. In this solitude, they learn to trust themselves fully, to trust the voice within that has been whispering all along. It is in this quiet that they realize they are never truly alone, for within them is a connection to something greater, something eternal. This solitude then becomes a place of profound connection, a place where they can tap into the wellspring of life itself, drawing forth the power to create, to manifest, and to transform their world. The call to solitude is not an easy one to answer, for it requires courage to step away from the known, from the comfortable, and to face oneself fully. But for the chosen, it is a call that cannot be ignored. It is the doorway to a life lived in alignment with their true purpose, a life guided not by external forces, but by an inner truth that they alone can hear and understand. This solitude is the soil in which their dreams take root, where their purpose comes alive, and where they finally come to realize that everything they need has been within them all along. For those called to a higher understanding, isolation is not merely a withdrawal from the world, it is an essential crucible for transformation. To be alone, truly alone, is to step into a space where the noise of life quiets down, where distractions are removed, and where one can confront the self without masks, pretenses, or outside influences. Transformation is not a surface-level change, it is a profound internal shift that requires shedding old beliefs, limitations, and attachments. This kind of transformation demands isolation, for in isolation the individual faces the deepest aspects of themselves, their fears, desires, hopes, and truths without interference. In this stillness, the layers of conditioning begin to fall away. Isolation allows the individual to examine life without the constant pull of others' opinions or societal norms. It becomes a space where one can question long-held beliefs and explore possibilities that might be dismissed in the presence of others. When all external influences are stripped away, the chosen one can begin to see the essence of their own being, undiluted and untainted. This is where the real work of transformation begins, for it is here that they can create a new understanding of themselves from the inside out, without the limitations that may have previously held them back. Isolation also offers a rare opportunity for self-reliance, a chance to draw upon one's own inner resources without depending on external validation or support. In this space, they learn to listen to the quiet whispers of intuition, the gentle nudges from within that guide them toward their true path. It is in isolation that they come to trust this inner voice fully, understanding that it carries the wisdom and insight needed to create meaningful change. Without the pressure to conform, they are free to explore their thoughts and feelings authentically, to understand their own motivations, and to shape a new reality based on their truest desires. Transformation through isolation is not easy, as it often involves facing uncomfortable truths and letting go of parts of the self that no longer serve. But it is through this process of letting go, of dismantling the old, that something new and powerful is born. Isolation acts as a catalyst, stripping away the non-essential, leaving only that which is pure and true. In this solitude, the individual becomes the architect of their own being, free to envision and create a life that resonates with their deepest purpose. The chosen one understands that transformation is not about changing outward circumstances first. It is about cultivating an inner state that reflects the change they wish to see. And this inner state cannot be forced or rushed. It must be nurtured in the stillness of isolation, where growth happens naturally like a seed germinating beneath the soil, unseen and untouched. Through this quiet and solitary process, they emerge stronger, clearer, and more aligned with their true self, ready to bring forth into the world what they have cultivated within. The power of the inner world is the greatest secret known to those who walk a path of deep understanding. This inner realm, invisible and often disregarded by the outer world, holds the source of all creation, all inspiration, and all transformation. Within the mind and heart lies an untapped universe, one that contains every possibility, every outcome, and every answer to the questions we seek. The inner world is not limited by physical constraints. It is boundless, capable of shaping reality in ways that logic and reason cannot grasp. Those who understand its potential realize that true change begins not by altering external circumstances, but by transforming their inner state. The chosen ones recognize that their inner world is the very foundation upon which their life is built. It is a realm where thoughts become things, where imagination is not merely a dream but a force that molds reality. In the stillness of solitude, they discover that everything they experience in the outer world is merely a reflection of their inner beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. This realization is both empowering and humbling, for it means they are not at the mercy of external forces. Instead, they hold within themselves the key to any transformation they wish to bring about. By cultivating their inner world, by focusing their thoughts and feelings on what they truly desire, they set into motion the forces that will eventually shape their outer experience. Within the depths of the inner world, the imagination becomes a powerful tool, a bridge between the seen and the unseen, the physical and the spiritual. The chosen ones know that to envision something with clarity and conviction is to set the wheels of creation in motion. The act of visualizing a desired outcome, of feeling as if it were already achieved, allows them to align with the reality that is waiting to unfold. In this sacred space of imagination, they can transcend limitations, rewrite narratives, and build a future that resonates with their highest aspirations. They understand that what they hold in mind and heart becomes their truth, and so they nurture their inner visions carefully, knowing they have the power to manifest. Moreover, the inner world is a sanctuary, a place of refuge and strength. In times of challenge or doubt, the chosen can retreat within to find comfort, wisdom, and guidance. Here they are reminded of their inherent worth and potential, untouched by the judgments and expectations of others. This inner realm is a place of communion with the self, where they can reconnect with their purpose, recalibrate their intentions, and draw strength to continue on their path. It is in the quiet of their own mind that they hear the voice of intuition, the subtle guidance that leads them toward what is true and meaningful. The power of the inner world is a reminder that true freedom, true power, lies within. To master one's inner world is to master life itself, for it allows the individual to remain unshaken by external circumstances. When they learn to cultivate thoughts of peace, love, and abundance within, these qualities begin to manifest outwardly. It becomes clear that the outer world is, in many ways, a mirror or reflection of the state of their inner world. As they grow in this understanding, they find that they no longer need to chase after things in the outer world. Instead, they learn to create from within, and life responds accordingly. In embracing the power of the inner world, they unlock the ability to live intentionally, to shape their reality in alignment with their true desires and values. It is in the depths of this inner world that they discover their purpose, their gifts, and their ability to bring forth something unique and beautiful. This journey inward, though often misunderstood by those around them, becomes the most important journey they will ever take, for it is here that they realize their true potential, their connection to the infinite, and the profound truth that they are indeed creators of their own experience. Those who are set apart by a calling often possess a unique vision, one that enables them to see beyond the ordinary and perceive possibilities that are hidden to most. This vision is not bound by the limits of conventional thinking or constrained by the expectations of society. It is a way of seeing that is fueled by intuition, imagination, and an inner knowing that transcends the material world. This uniqueness of vision sets the chosen ones on a different path, as it allows them to glimpse the realities that others may overlook or dismiss. They are able to see beyond appearances, understanding that life's true essence lies beneath the surface, in the realm of potential and imagination. To hold a unique vision is to carry a flame that lights the way forward, even when others may see only darkness. This vision is often born in solitude, where the chosen can explore their ideas freely, unbound by external influences. In this sacred space, they are able to envision a world that aligns with their highest ideals, a world where their deepest desires and values are realized. This vision becomes a guiding force, something that gives their life purpose and direction. While others may focus on what is, the chosen are captivated by what could be. They are the dreamers, the ones who understand that reality is not fixed but fluid, open to transformation through the power of focused intent. However, carrying a unique vision is not without its challenges. Often those with such vision find themselves misunderstood or even opposed by those around them. Their ideas may seem radical, their dreams unrealistic, because they are guided by something beyond logic or reason. But for the chosen, this vision is as real as any tangible object, and they hold on to it with unwavering faith. They know that their vision, though unseen by others, contains the seeds of a new reality. And so they persist, nurturing their dreams in silence, allowing them to grow strong before they bring them forth into the world. This uniqueness of vision also grants them the ability to perceive connections and patterns that are invisible to the casual observer. They understand that everything in life is interconnected, that each thought, each action has an effect on the whole. This awareness allows them to approach life with a sense of purpose, seeing each moment as an opportunity to bring their vision closer to fruition. They understand that to create the world they envision, they must align their inner state with their desires, becoming a living embodiment of the reality they wish to create. This requires patience, faith, and a willingness to walk alone, if necessary, for their vision is a gift, a calling that only they can fulfill. In embracing their unique vision, they learn to trust in their own perception, to honor their intuition as a source of truth. They do not seek validation from the world, for they know that their vision is not meant to be understood by everyone. Instead, they focus on nurturing their inner life, allowing their imagination to guide them as they navigate the outer world. This vision becomes a beacon, a source of strength and inspiration that carries them through any challenges they may face. It is a reminder of their purpose, a constant whisper that encourages them to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. For the chosen ones, this unique vision is both a responsibility and a blessing. It calls them to live authentically, to pursue a life that aligns with their deepest values and aspirations. It asks them to believe in what others may deem impossible, to see beauty and potential where others see limitation. Through this vision, they learn to transcend the ordinary, to touch the divine, and to bring forth something truly meaningful into the world. In doing so, they not only fulfill their own destiny, but also inspire others to look beyond the visible and embrace the boundless possibilities that lie within the human spirit. For those who carry a unique vision, the experience of rejection by the world is almost inevitable. To walk a path of deep understanding, to hold beliefs and aspirations that defy convention, is to invite misunderstanding, doubt, and often outright opposition. When one's thoughts, dreams, and intentions diverge from the ordinary, it creates a divided gap between the chosen and the world around them. While others follow paths of safety, predictability, and conformity, the chosen one finds themselves journeying into the unknown, propelled by an inner calling that the outer world cannot comprehend. Rejection, however, is not always a sign of failure. It is often a sign of uniqueness. It is a testament to the chosen one's willingness to stand apart, to pursue a truth that is not widely accepted or understood. Those with a unique vision are often seen as unconventional, eccentric, or even rebellious because they do not accept the limitations imposed by society. They are the ones who question, who seek beyond the surface, who are willing to entertain possibilities that challenge the status quo. This ability to see differently, to think beyond accepted norms, inevitably sets them apart. And while this separation can be painful, it is also necessary. For to bring forth something new, one must be willing to step outside the boundaries of the familiar, even if it means facing criticism or exclusion. Rejection by the world forces the chosen one into a place of solitude, where they must rely on their own inner strength and conviction. Without the approval or understanding of others, they are compelled to dig deep, to find faith within themselves. In this solitude, they come to understand that their worth is not determined by others' opinions or acceptance. Instead, they find an inner confidence and knowing that their vision is valuable precisely because it is different. This solitude becomes a testing ground, a place where they learn resilience, where they refine their vision and strengthen their resolve. They begin to see rejection not as a barrier but as a way to grow, to develop a steadfast belief in their own path. Being rejected by the world also teaches the chosen one the importance of self-acceptance. When they no longer depend on others' validation, they can fully embrace who they are without apology or hesitation. They come to recognize that their uniqueness is not a flaw to be hidden, but a gift to be shared, even if the world is not ready to receive it. This self-acceptance gives them the courage to continue on their path, to pursue their vision with integrity and authenticity. They realize that true fulfillment comes not from pleasing others, but from living in alignment with their own values and aspirations. Rejection by the world also serves as a refining process, helping the chosen one to clarify their vision and shed anything that does not truly belong to them. In facing criticism or disbelief, they are pushed to examine their motives, to ensure that their vision is rooted in something authentic. It strips away any need for approval and purifies their intentions, allowing them to move forward with a sense of purpose that is unshakable. They learn to trust their own intuition, to listen to the quiet voice within that assures them of their path, even when the outer world offers no encouragement. This experience of rejection ultimately teaches the chosen one to find strength within. They become resilient, able to stand firm in their beliefs regardless of the opinions around them. They learn that they do not need to be understood by everyone. Their purpose is not to conform but to create, to inspire, to bring something new into the world. This inner strength allows them to walk alone if necessary, to continue even when others doubt or dismiss them. They come to understand that their value is not diminished by others' inability to see their worth. In the end, rejection by the world reveals to the chosen one that they are not meant to follow the well-trodden path, but to carve out their own. It becomes clear that their purpose is not to fit in, but to stand out, to illuminate new possibilities for those who may one day follow. And in this they find peace, knowing that their journey, while lonely at times, is deeply meaningful. They realize that rejection is not a deterrent but a signpost, guiding them toward a life that is fully and uniquely their own. Silence is one of life's most profound teachers, guiding us to truths that cannot be found in words or actions. In a world filled with constant noise and distraction, silence becomes a sanctuary, a place where the mind can rest and the soul can speak. It invites us to listen to what lies beneath the surface, to explore the depths of our own thoughts, fears, dreams, and desires without interruption. In silence, we are stripped of the need to perform, to respond, or to seek approval. We are simply present with ourselves, raw and unfiltered. This quietness offers a space of reflection, where we can examine our lives with clarity and honesty, finding answers to questions that may have eluded us in the busyness of everyday life. For the chosen ones, silence is not emptiness, it is a fullness, a richness that comes from connecting with the inner self. It is in silence that they discover who they truly are, apart from the identities imposed by society, family, or friends. Silence teaches them to be comfortable with themselves, to befriend their own solitude, and to find peace in their own company. This is not an easy lesson, for silence often brings us face to face with parts of ourselves that we may have avoided or suppressed. Yet it is through this confrontation that growth occurs. In the stillness, they begin to see their own patterns, habits, and thoughts more clearly. They understand that to change their lives, they must first understand themselves, and silence is the doorway to that understanding. So, silence teaches patience, for it cannot be rushed or forced. In silence, we learn to slow down, to let go of the need for instant answers or quick solutions. It reminds us that some insights come only in their own time, unfolding naturally like the blooming of a flower. Silence encourages us to trust this process, to surrender to the wisdom within, knowing that clarity will come when it is meant to. This patience fosters resilience, as we learn to sit with uncertainty, to hold space for the unknown, and to allow things to unfold without interference. Silence teaches us that life's most profound truths are often simple, yet they reveal themselves only when we are quiet enough to hear them. In silence, we also connect with the power of presence. When there is no noise to distract us, we become fully aware of the present moment, the feel of the air, the rhythm of our breath, the beating of our heart. This heightened awareness allows us to experience life more deeply, to appreciate each moment as it is, without the filters of past regrets or future anxieties. Silence shows us the beauty in simplicity, the richness in just being. It reminds us that life is not just a series of events or achievements, it is a continuous, unfolding experience, one that we can fully engage with only when we are present. Silence teaches us to listen not just to others but to ourselves. It is in the quiet that we hear the whispers of intuition, the subtle nudges that guide us toward our true path. Often these inner messages are drowned out by the noise of daily life, but in silence they become clear. We begin to understand that our inner voice holds a wisdom that is uniquely ours, a wisdom that can lead us to choices and actions that resonate with our deepest values and desires. Silence encourages us to trust this inner guidance, to value our own insights and perceptions above the opinions of others. Through this practice, we cultivate self-trust, learning to navigate life from a place of authenticity and inner alignment. Perhaps one of the greatest lessons silence offers is the reminder that peace comes from within. In silence, we find a space untouched by the chaos and demands of the external world, a space where we can reconnect with our own sense of peace and balance. This inner calm is something we can carry with us, a resource that strengthens us in times of stress or uncertainty. By returning to silence regularly, we nurture this inner peace, making it a steady foundation that grounds us in all situations. Silence teaches us that while the world may be turbulent, we have the ability to cultivate a stillness within, a place where we can always find refuge and clarity. Through silence, we learn the power of observation, of watching without judgment. In this quiet space, we can observe our thoughts, feelings, and reactions without getting caught up in them. We begin to see that we are not our thoughts or emotions, we are the awareness behind them. This distance gives us the freedom to choose how we respond to life, rather than reacting out of habit. Silence, therefore, is a teacher of self-mastery, helping us to gain control over our mind and emotions, to act with intention rather than impulse. Silence offers us a new way of relating to others as well. In learning to be comfortable with our own silence, we become more comfortable with the silence of others. We realize that true connection does not always require words sometimes. It is enough to simply be present with another person, to share a moment of quiet understanding. This awareness deepens our relationships as we become better listeners, more attuned to the unspoken needs and feelings of those around us. Ultimately, silence teaches us that there is more to life than what we can see or hear. It is a gateway to the unseen, to the mysteries of existence that cannot be explained or defined. In silence, we touch something vast and timeless, something that connects us to the whole of life. We realize that we are part of a greater whole, a cosmic rhythm that flows through all things. This awareness gives us a sense of belonging, a connection to something greater than ourselves. Through silence, we find not only answers but also acceptance, an understanding that not all things need to be known or explained. Silence becomes a source of wisdom, teaching us to embrace life's mysteries with humility and reverence. It reminds us that some truths are beyond words, beyond thought, and that in the end it is enough simply to be present, to listen, and to learn from the quiet depths of our own being. Freedom from distractions is a rare and valuable state, especially in a world constantly pulling at our attention. In this space, we are liberated from the incessant demands of notifications, messages, and the whirlwind of daily tasks that fragment our focus and energy. This freedom allows us to step away from the external noise and cultivate a deep connection with ourselves. When we break free from distractions, we enter a place of clarity and simplicity, where our thoughts are no longer scattered and our minds no longer cluttered. In this clear space, we begin to see what truly matters, distinguishing between what is essential and what is merely a fleeting temptation. The absence of distractions opens up an inner stillness that is otherwise difficult to reach. Without the constant bombardment of information and external stimuli, we can finally breathe, allowing ourselves to sink into a profound state of presence. Here we become aware of the thoughts, feelings, and aspirations that lie beneath the surface, often buried under layers of noise and busyness. This freedom offers us the chance to confront and explore these inner currents, to understand our true desires and intentions. Without the distraction of endless obligations, we can tune into our own voice, listening deeply to what we genuinely want, rather than being swayed by the fleeting wants and whims that arise from the outside world. Freed from distractions, we also rediscover the power of our attention. With undivided focus, our energy becomes concentrated and potent, allowing us to engage in tasks with a depth and thoroughness that is otherwise elusive. We no longer find ourselves pulled in multiple directions or attempting to juggle numerous things at once. Instead, we can bring all our attention to a single task or pursuit, which allows us to fully immerse ourselves in it, experiencing flow and alignment. This focus is not only more productive but also more fulfilling, as we are able to engage with our work, relationships, and passions in a more meaningful way. Moreover, freedom from distractions fosters creativity and insight. Without the constant need to respond to external prompts, our minds are free to wander, to explore new ideas, and to make connections that might otherwise go unnoticed. In the quiet of undistracted moments, inspiration often strikes, allowing us to think outside the box and come up with innovative solutions. This openness creates space for our intuition to surface, for insights to rise organically without being forced. We begin to realize that our best ideas often emerge when we are not actively seeking them, when we allow ourselves to enter a state of open receptivity that distractions usually prevent. This freedom from distractions also reconnects us with time. When we are constantly bombarded by external demands, time often feels fragmented and insufficient. The hours slip away in a blur of half-finished tasks and interrupted thoughts. But when we free ourselves from these distractions, time begins to slow down. We become more mindful of each passing moment, more present in the here and now. Each minute becomes more meaningful, allowing us to savor life rather than rushing through it. In this expanded sense of time, we find a new appreciation for the simple joys, for the beauty in small moments that are often lost in the hurry and hustle of everyday life. Breaking free from distractions also nurtures inner peace. Without the constant pull of external forces, we feel less stressed, less pressure to keep up or stay connected to everything and everyone. This sense of peace arises from within, a calm that is not easily shaken by outside events. We begin to realize that much of the anxiety we experience comes from the constant stimulation and comparison that distractions bring. When we step away from these influences, we create a space where we can reconnect with a deeper sense of contentment, where we feel complete and whole within ourselves. This inner peace is a refuge, a place we can return to again and again to find balance and grounding. In this state, our relationships also deepen. When we are not distracted, we can give others our full presence and attention. Conversations become more meaningful, as we are truly listening rather than half-heartedly nodding while checking our phones or thinking of the next task. We become more attuned to the needs and emotions of others, able to engage in genuine connection and empathy. This undivided attention transforms our interactions, building trust and intimacy, and allowing us to create bonds that are rooted in real presence and mutual understanding. Freedom from distractions also brings a new level of self-discipline. In letting go of distractions, we cultivate the ability to resist temptations, to say no to what does not serve our highest purpose. This discipline strengthens our character, empowering us to choose what is meaningful over what is merely immediate. We develop the inner fortitude to prioritize our own goals and values, to remain focused even in a world designed to capture our attention. This sense of self-mastery becomes a source of pride, a quiet strength that reminds us of our own ability to shape our lives, to live intentionally rather than reactively. In the absence of distractions, we can dedicate time to practices that nourish us, whether it's reading, meditating, pursuing a hobby, or simply resting. These activities bring us joy and fulfillment, allowing us to recharge and maintain our well-being. Without the lure of endless distractions, we find ourselves drawn to what truly nurtures our mind, body, and soul. We come to understand that rest and enjoyment are not luxuries but necessities, essential parts of a balanced life that we can only access when we are free from the constant pull of the outside world. Ultimately, freedom from distractions allows us to live more fully, to engage with life from a place of authenticity and purpose. We are no longer swept up in the currents of what everyone else is doing or saying, no longer bound to a cycle of reaction and noise. Instead, we find ourselves grounded in our own experience, moving through life with a sense of clarity, peace, and meaning. This freedom is a gift we give to ourselves, a choice to live in alignment with our highest intentions, to honor our time, energy, and attention as sacred resources. It allows us to create a life that reflects who we truly are, unencumbered by the endless distractions that would otherwise dilute our essence and direction. Imagination is not simply a tool for fantasy or escape, it is one of the most powerful forces we possess, a wellspring of strength that shapes our reality in ways we may not always fully understand. Far beyond idle daydreams, imagination is the key that unlocks the hidden potentials of the mind. It is through imagination that we begin to create new possibilities, to envision a life that aligns with our deepest desires and highest purpose. In a world that often seems constrained by external circumstances, imagination offers the freedom to transcend limitations and to live in the realm of infinite potential. When we turn to our imagination, we access a place of profound creativity, where the ordinary rules of the world no longer apply. Here there are no restrictions, no cantillas, only endless cans. It is a realm where anything is possible, where we can explore new paths, ideas, and solutions to problems. This creative force gives us the power to visualize what has not yet come to be, to mentally rehearse the life we wish to create, and to move toward that vision with unwavering belief. It is through this imaginative process that we begin to transform our inner landscape, altering our thoughts, emotions, and actions to reflect the reality we seek. Imagination is also the source of resilience, for it enables us to see beyond our current struggles. When we face adversity or obstacles, imagination allows us to envision a way through, a solution that may not be immediately obvious in the physical world. It grants us the ability to see the unseen, to hold a vision of the future that is brighter than our present circumstances. In doing so, it provides hope that things can improve, that we can overcome whatever challenges stand in our way. Imagination allows us to reframe difficulties as opportunities for growth, helping us to find meaning in even the most challenging situations. By imagining a positive outcome, we strengthen our resolve, giving us the courage to persist and move forward. At its core, imagination empowers us to align with our true selves. It invites us to dream beyond the limitations of our past conditioning, to break free from the constraints of what others have told us we can or cannot do. When we use our imagination consciously, we step into the realm of possibility, allowing ourselves to dream of lives filled with purpose, fulfillment, and joy. It helps us reconnect with our inner desires and passions, to reawaken the part of ourselves that knows no boundaries. In this way, imagination serves as a guide, showing us the way to a life that is more authentic, more aligned with who we are and who we are meant to become. Through imagination, we also tap into a deep well of personal power. It is through our imaginative faculty that we begin to see ourselves as creators of our own destiny, not victims of circumstance. By mentally rehearsing success, visualizing the realization of our goals, we begin to embody the energy of that success, creating a magnetic force that attracts the opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with our vision. Imagination becomes a tool for manifestation, a way to bring into the physical world that which was once only a fleeting thought or distant dream. As we focus our energy on our visions, we begin to shape the world around us, molding our reality according to our inner blueprint. Imagination also strengthens our connection to the unseen forces of the universe. It opens the door to intuition, insight, and inspiration, allowing us to receive guidance from sources beyond the material world. In these moments, our imagination acts as a bridge, connecting us to higher wisdom, to a deep well of knowledge that transcends time and space. Whether through flashes of insight or quiet nudges from within, imagination allows us to tune into the subtle messages that guide us along our path. By listening to these inner prompts, we can move with greater confidence and trust, knowing that we are aligned with a force that is both within us and all around us. Furthermore, imagination allows us to break free from fear and limitation. It provides us with the ability to imagine ourselves in different circumstances, to step outside of the narrow confines of our current reality and embrace a broader view of what is possible. This act of mental expansion is a form of liberation, allowing us to see beyond the boundaries of our immediate situation. When we imagine ourselves succeeding, achieving our dreams, and living in alignment with our values, we begin to dissolve the fears that may have once held us back. The more vividly we can imagine our desired reality, the less power fear has over us. In this way, imagination becomes a tool of empowerment, a way to overcome the doubts and insecurities that prevent us from stepping into our full potential. Imagination is also a source of peace, providing us with the ability to escape from the noise and chaos of the external world. In moments of stress or overwhelm, we can retreat into the quiet sanctuary of our own imagination, where we can visualize peaceful, healing environments, or simply allow our minds to wander freely. In this mental space, we can release tension, soothe our anxieties, and reconnect with a sense of inner calm. It is through this imaginative process that we find solace, reminding ourselves that peace is always available to us, no matter what is happening around us. The power of imagination also lies in its ability to help us evolve. It is through imagination that we envision a better version of ourselves, a future self who has overcome weaknesses, fears, or limitations. This vision becomes a model for growth, providing us with the inspiration to become the person we wish to be. Imagination allows us to see our potential in a way that is not confined to our past mistakes or shortcomings, but one that is expansive and full of possibility. It encourages us to see ourselves as works in progress, always growing, always becoming. By connecting deeply with our imagination, we discover that it is not only a source of strength but also of wisdom. It teaches us to trust in our ability to create, to cultivate the belief that everything we need to live a meaningful life is already within us. Through imagination, we realize that we are the authors of our own story, capable of designing a life that reflects our deepest truths and desires. With each thought we imagine, we weave the fabric of our reality, and with each vivid vision we hold, we plant the seeds of our future. Solitude, when embraced as a sacred space, becomes a profound and transformative experience. In this quiet refuge, we find a sanctuary where the noise of the world can no longer reach us. The distractions, demands, and expectations that typically pull us in various directions fade away, leaving us alone with ourselves. This solitude is not an emptiness to be feared, but rather a fullness that invites deep introspection and self-discovery. It is in these moments of solitude that we come face to face with who we truly are, without the masks, roles, or personas we often wear to meet the demands of society or others. Here there is nothing to hide behind, no need for pretense. The mind becomes a mirror, reflecting both our strengths and our shadows, offering the space to explore the depths of our true nature. When we allow ourselves to truly experience solitude, we enter into a sacred relationship with ourselves. In this space, we no longer need to seek validation or approval from the outside world. We realize that our worth is not dependent on the external reflections of others, but is inherent, residing within the quiet depths of our being. Solitude becomes an act of self-love, an opportunity to nurture and honor ourselves without interference. It is in these moments that we can hear our own voice clearly, untainted by the opinions or judgments of those around us. In the silence, we begin to connect with our deepest desires, our truest intentions, and our most authentic self. Solitude also offers us the chance to release the burdens we carry, the weight of past experiences, regrets, and the fears of the future. In this sacred space, we can let go of the expectations we have placed upon ourselves and the pressures we feel to meet the standards of others. It is here that we find healing, for the act of being alone allows us to confront the wounds that may have gone unnoticed in the hustle and bustle of daily life. When we are still and silent, we can give ourselves permission to feel, to process, and to release what no longer serves us. This release creates room for new growth, new insights, and a deeper connection to our inner wisdom. In solitude, we also find the opportunity for reflection, for re-evaluating our life's direction. When we are constantly surrounded by others, the noise of their voices can drown out our own inner guidance. But in the quiet of solitude, we can reflect on our past choices and future aspirations without the influence of external pressures. This space allows us to ask important questions. Are we living in alignment with our values? Are we following a path that brings us joy, fulfillment, and purpose? Solitude offers the time and clarity to answer these questions honestly, without the distractions that often prevent us from seeing our true path. It is in this reflective space that we can recalibrate, making adjustments to our course if necessary and moving forward with greater intention and purpose. The sacredness of solitude is also found in its capacity to foster creativity and insight. When the mind is not preoccupied with the demands of others, it becomes free to roam, to explore new ideas, and to make connections that would otherwise be missed. In solitude, the mind enters a state of openness and receptivity, allowing us to tap into a deeper well of creativity and inspiration. The quiet allows new thoughts to emerge, often surprising us with their brilliance. It is in this sacred space that we might have moments of revelation, ideas that have been waiting to surface, solutions to problems that once seemed insurmountable, or insights that change the way we see the world. Creativity flourishes in solitude because it is free from judgment, expectation, and the fear of failure. The space to think, explore, and create without limitation is a gift that solitude offers. Moreover, solitude brings us closer to our spiritual self, providing an opportunity to deepen our connection with the divine or the greater consciousness that transcends the individual. In the stillness of solitude, we can experience a sense of unity with all that is, as the distractions and separations of the external world fade away. In this sacred space, we can tune into the subtle whispers of the universe, listen to the wisdom that resides within us, and align ourselves with a greater purpose. Whether through meditation, prayer, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation, solitude offers a space where we can connect to the divine, finding peace and guidance in the stillness. When we allow solitude to be a sacred space, it becomes an essential part of our personal growth. It is in these moments of aloneness that we cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Solitude teaches us that we are whole on our own, not incomplete or lacking. It shows us that we do not need to rely on the outside world to define us or give us meaning. We can create our own sense of purpose, joy, and fulfillment, independent of external circumstances. Through solitude, we come to understand that we are both individuals and interconnected beings, capable of great strength, love, and wisdom. The sacredness of solitude lies not in isolation, but in its ability to reconnect us with our true essence, allowing us to experience life from a place of deep inner peace, clarity, and power. Solitude also nurtures a deeper sense of gratitude, for it provides the space to appreciate the richness of life without distractions. In the stillness, we begin to notice the small, often overlooked details that make life beautiful: the warmth of the sun, the sound of birdsong, the beauty of a quiet moment. When we are not rushing through life, when we are not caught up in the demands of others, we can fully experience and savor the present moment. Solitude in its sacredness brings us back to the simplicity of life, helping us to reconnect with the beauty of just being. In solitude, we are reminded of the power of stillness. It is in the quiet, the alone moments that we are able to hear our own heart, our own soul, and the voice of the universe guiding us forward. The sacred space of solitude is not merely an absence of noise, but a presence that fills us with wisdom, clarity, and a deeper connection to the world and to ourselves. When we embrace solitude as sacred, we enter into a profound relationship with the truth of who we are and the truth of what is possible. Connection to higher truth is the process of tapping into a deeper, more profound understanding of reality that transcends the surface-level experiences of our everyday lives. It is the recognition that there is more to existence than what we can see, hear, or touch. Beyond the material world, there exists a deeper realm of insight and wisdom, a place where the answers to life's most pressing questions reside. To connect with this higher truth is to open ourselves to the possibility that there is a deeper order to things, an intelligence that guides the unfolding of the universe and our lives within it. This connection to higher truth often begins with a shift in awareness, a conscious decision to look beyond the external world and turn inward. In the stillness of reflection, we become more attuned to the subtle energies and messages that are constantly around us, but often go unnoticed. When we quiet the noise of the mind and the distractions of daily life, we make space for the deeper currents of wisdom that flow through us. It is in these moments of silence that we are most receptive to the guidance and insights that come from a place beyond our individual consciousness, a place that connects us to the universal truth that binds all things together. Higher truth is not something that can be easily defined or captured by words. It is a feeling, a knowing that transcends intellectual understanding. It is a deep sense of clarity that arises when we are in alignment with our higher self, when we are living in harmony with our inner being and the greater flow of the universe. This truth is not fixed or static, but dynamic and ever evolving. As we grow and expand, our connection to higher truth deepens, allowing us to perceive new layers of reality and gain insights that were previously hidden from view. The more we align with this truth, the more we come to see the world through a different lens, one that is informed by wisdom, compassion, and an understanding that all things are interconnected. One of the most powerful aspects of connecting to higher truth is the sense of peace and clarity that it brings. When we align ourselves with this truth, we are no longer subject to the confusion, uncertainty, or fear that often cloud our judgment. The noise of the world and the fears of the ego fall away, and we begin to experience a sense of calm that comes from knowing we are part of a greater plan, a greater unfolding that is beyond our control, yet ultimately for our highest good. In this space, we find a deep sense of trust in ourselves, in the universe, and in the journey that lies before us. Connecting to higher truth also brings a deeper sense of purpose. As we tune into this greater wisdom, we begin to understand our role in the larger scheme of things, recognizing that we are not just passive observers of life, but active participants in its unfolding. This higher truth illuminates the path ahead, helping us to make decisions that are in alignment with our soul's purpose. It offers clarity in moments of uncertainty, providing direction when we feel lost or uncertain. By aligning with this truth, we move with greater confidence and conviction, knowing that each step we take is in accordance with a higher plan, and that our lives have meaning far beyond what we can immediately perceive. As we continue to deepen our connection to higher truth, we begin to experience life with a sense of wonder and awe. The mysteries of the universe, once shrouded in confusion and doubt, start to reveal themselves in ways that are subtle but unmistakable. Synchronicities, signs, and symbols appear in our lives, confirming that we are in alignment with a greater force. These moments of connection are reminders that we are not alone, that there is a deeper intelligence at work guiding us toward our highest good. Each experience becomes an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to expand our understanding of who we are and what we are capable of. The connection to higher truth is not always easy or straightforward. It requires us to let go of old beliefs, assumptions, and patterns that no longer serve us. It calls us to face our fears, to confront the illusions and limitations that we have created in our minds. But it is through this process of surrender and release that we make space for the truth to emerge. As we move through this journey of self-discovery, we begin to shed the layers of conditioning and false beliefs that have kept us from fully experiencing our true nature. With each step forward, we become more attuned to the higher wisdom that lies within us and all around us, and we begin to experience life from a place of greater clarity, authenticity, and peace. Ultimately, the connection to higher truth is a process of awakening. It is an ongoing journey of becoming more fully ourselves, more deeply connected to the world and the universe, and more in tune with the wisdom that lies within. As we continue to expand our awareness and deepen our connection to this truth, we begin to live more fully, more consciously, and with a greater sense of purpose. The higher truth is not a destination to be reached, but a continuous unfolding, a process of discovery and alignment that brings us closer to our true essence and to the greater purpose of our lives. Through this connection, we come to realize that we are not separate from the world around us, but an integral part of it, and that our journey is one of constant growth, learning, and transformation. In conclusion, the solitude of the chosen ones is not a punishment, nor is it a sign of inadequacy. It is a sacred space where they are called to delve deeper into the truth of who they are, to reconnect with their inner wisdom, and to align themselves with a higher purpose. The journey of the chosen is one of transformation, and transformation requires a period of isolation, not to be disconnected from the world, but to be recalibrated, refined, and made whole. In solitude, they cultivate strength, clarity, and an unshakable belief in their own power. It is in these quiet moments that they receive the insights needed to fulfill their unique calling. The world may not understand them, but the silence holds the answers. Their aloneness is not loneliness, but an invitation to embrace their divinity and purpose without distraction. So while the chosen ones walk their path in solitude, it is not a sign of abandonment or rejection. It is a sign of their alignment with a higher truth, a deeper wisdom, and a more profound connection to the source of all creation. They are not alone in their mission. In the silence, they are guided, supported, and ultimately they are preparing to step into a purpose that will change the world. The chosen ones are alone, but they are never truly lonely, for in their aloneness they are forging the path that others will one day follow.